Hey guys, welcome to Clockwork Noodles. Hello and welcome to Spring 2024. This is the first show we're breaking down on the channel. So I'm so excited to bring it to you. We are breaking down the first episode of the Spice and Wolf 2024 remake. Not to get it confused with us breaking down the original. We're going to go straight into the remake. I have not actually seen any of the original. Don't know much about it. I know that the wolf runs around pretty much nude anyway. I already knew that. That's probably the only thing I knew. I knew that there was a wolf in it. That was really about all I really had to go with. I'm going to go through my thoughts on this first episode, give you my first impressions on the show. Thank you for joining us. Welcome if you have found me for the first time. I am Clockwork Noodles. We break down anime on the show weekly. A big hello if you are returning as well. Don't really know what to expect on this. Very excited to see where this show goes. But, I mean, from the first episode, I'm pretty chill. I'm actually quite chill. I'm very happy that it's a chill one because I was expecting my lineup to be quite heavy. But I think the only show that's going to be heavy this season is probably going to be Kaiju number 8. Thankfully, we've got a nice cozy show to cuddle up with. Of course, that could be completely wrong and it's going to be crying and horrible. But for now, the first episode has come across and set the scene. So let's go straight to my thoughts with a cozy cold open. It's a cold open because I don't know who the hell's talking, but I get the vibe that it's a case where the little girl is actually in the future asking mummy, tell me a story, and the mum's going, well, let me tell you this story. And I have a feeling it's that kind of How I Met Your Father kind of thing. That's the vibe I got. It could be completely wrong though. It's a very cold open. It's actually very, very nice. The music is very nostalgic and it comes across as very, I want to say medieval. I'm going to keep saying medieval till I get an actual time period. We've got the church having power still. We've got a lot of folklore running rampant. If you are on the channel, you've been there long enough, you know I'm very much into folklore, superstition. So this is really my jam. I've done Ancient Maker's Bride, which had a lot of folklore aspects to it. They were more English. This feels a bit more European. I don't know where we roughly are, but it is actually going to be a nice change of pace. It does also give me some Vinland Saga season 2 vibes initially as well. But the cozy open is really nice. The music is subtle. I did think that the snow falling all around, the lighting was very, very nice. It was just one where I was like, oh, okay. Setting up, this is how we're doing it. We're going to go into a story. It is quite the adept open. These are stories passed down from generation. That's tend to be what folklore it really is. I love the fact that we're going into a story and what we're watching is essentially that story, which is nice. So the OP, I thought not much to it, not a lot going on. It's quiet, it's subtle. It really does set up the actual show. It's nice. I can't really complain. It might grow on me a little bit, but initially it didn't jump out at me. But I'm very excited to have a show that is outside of Japan. It is sometimes refreshing. I love my anime and I've watched so many animes now. So whenever something comes up and it's different, I'm generally all over that. So whether it actually takes place somewhere in the real world, but with the humanoid wolf thing, maybe it's just within the realms of possibility that is a little bit removed from the world that we're in. But who am I to know? I've just never seen a humanoid wolf walking around. Country vibes, I absolutely love. It reminds me of simpler times. I absolutely love the animation on some of those corns as well. The more pagan, the folklore feel. The festival as well is quite cool because it essentially sets up the wolf already, where these guys are cutting that last bit of corn, and this is a tradition that we do. The guy runs around with the last bit of corn and he gets caught, so then they have to put the wolf in the barn, make sure that the wolf stays and I guess blesses the next harvest, which is quite cool. I grew up in a school where we did celebrate Harvest Festival. Now Harvest Festival is something that since school time I don't even remember it's a thing, but depending on where you are in the UK, some places do have cultural things that go on around this time of the year where we bless the bountiful harvest, hope for a new one, only in certain pockets. It does happen a lot down south as well, I guess like Cornwall kind of area. Harvest Festival for me was always, we'd get together in the school, we'd generally just sing some songs, everyone would bring like foods that you have, and it generally went to, I think it was a charity. Most times it would go to a charity, sometimes I guess they divvy it up, but with our school it really was just a case, bring in some food, we're going to be thankful for what we've got and share it around, that kind of idea. I love the world building. The world building doesn't waste any time. It's rural. There's beautiful lights. There's some beautiful sprawling fields. There's a nice bits where there's the moonlight coming through. There's no buildings in the way. There's no electricity. There's no cars. It's just one man in his cart just wheeling around doing some stuff. He's selling salt. Oh, he's selling this. It's so Skyrim. It's got a bit of a Skyrim vibe. Next, there's going to be dragons floating around. Honestly, first impressions, so chill. The relaxing, the music as well seems to have some traditional wind instruments inside, whether it's the flute, whether it's like panpipes or something. It's really, really cool. Initial meeting with Holo, our god of the harvest, apparently. Well, she says she's not. She just says that she's just this whole wolf who's made a deal with a man who was in the village. So I guess it's turned into a folklore. Interesting, very interesting. I love the red eyes. I love the design, the little fangs and everything. And she's quite cheeky. I initially thought the voice actor sounded like, I think her name's Erica or something from 86, the little kid. She has a like proper little kiddie voice to her, and I thought it was that. Or it could have been Anya, but it's not. People who have been on my show for a while now, it's actually Parin from Apothecary Diaries. That's literally the only role that I could really mention that meant anything to the channel, because she's done a lot, but she's not done anything major. The voice sounded so familiar, I was completely wrong. I do like the voice though, it's cool, it really suits her because it's quite cheeky and she's quite mischievous, which I think is really nice. Opening monologue when he was talking to us about himself, because he seemingly has been in the cart the whole time, so she heard that, oh, he's not from around here. Really interesting introduction with these two, and of course I'd be freaked out too if there was a naked girl in my cart. I like the outfit she wears later a lot more. Love that traditional walls, fabrics from the land, that kind of cut. I love the outfit. I'm not tempted. I'm definitely not tempted because I know ginger wigs do not suit me, but it's a very cool design right at the end. But very traditional music. I really, really like it. I love the transformation bit where she transforms and you don't see it, but you see the wall of fluff. So no doubt she turns into a huge wolf, which I really want to see. That would be so cool. At some point, I really hope that we can see it. Now, I did wonder if she had actually escaped because the guy Yari, which is his friend or someone he wanted to go see, but he ends up playing Holo and gets captured. He escapes, his punishment comes out, and I do wonder if she actually is able to escape because essentially he broke the deal, or he got out and then she's actually free to jump around via the wheat, because I think she might have been in the wheat initially, but as she says, if there's a large bit of wheat floating around, I can move between the wheat, which is such a cool ability. I really, really like it. I just love the fact that the show seems to be coming to the superstition meets modern. I know it's not a very modern show, but Yari seems to represent the more modern thinkers. He says that he's been wheeling and dealing, expanding his trade. I guess once you get to the point when you start having bountiful harvests year after year, you stop remembering that, oh, we used to pray to somebody to get these bountiful harvests. Oh, they're just a given. We become to rely on these. I think Yari represents the modern idea that we don't need superstition anymore. And as he says, the wolf is a myth. Quite a few times when talking to Lawrence, and Lawrence is really cool too. I don't have too much to say on him at the moment. Voice actor sounds familiar. I need to go and check out who he is, but it was the wolf that really got my attention initially. The friendship between the two is quite nice. It seems to have a bit of a chemistry going on. Yari definitely, though, representing the modern free thinking, going forward, leaving the tradition behind. I think it's hinted at a few times that the church has power right now because he says we can't go against the church. The wolf also seems to hate the church, so I bet the opposition or anything negative will come up because the church is going to hate it. I guess similar to Your Eternity, where it was actually the church in the end who was hating on Fushi because he was abnormal and they wanted him dead. So it feels like if we do have any tension in the show, it's going to be because the church sees the wolf and goes, bad, wolf bad, we don't like boobs. I do wonder if that's the route we're going to go, but it is setting it up really, really nice. I'm getting all that from the first episode. Storytelling is good. Storytelling is really clear. You don't need too much dialogue to really get stuff. And with the first episode of this, not too much dialogue, but I am getting it. I understand roughly what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a very simple time where people used to believe in a great wolf and they had these very superstitious ideas about praying to make sure that there's always food. And now we're coming to the point where I guess things are expanding a little bit. We're at that cusp of a millennia where things change within history, which I think is really, really cool. So far, our wolf Holo has got some really cool powers, the ability to shapeshift, transform. I don't know if she's a god because she seems to also deny the fact that she's a god. It's just she is Holo. But I'm thinking that the show's underlying core is definitely going to be a moving away from the idea of folklore and superstition, which I think is interesting. Count me in for that. I like how relaxed it's been so far. I don't think it will stay completely relaxed if there is going to be oppositions with the church. I also am curious to where this plot's going to go, because right now it's very peaceful, and it reminds me also, I keep doing these reminders, but it does have many ideas of other shows. I don't know which one came first because I know this was an older anime. The guy who moves around town to town every single episode, just him traveling this world. It's like someone's amazing journey or something. It reminds me of that. I can't foresee where this is going to go because right now I've got a small picture and I guess eventually the world's going to open up. I do like that idea. But I love her design. Now, when she does go into the traditional design, which obviously is his clothing, I think it does look really nice. The kind of outfit I'd like to have, it's more that LARPy type outfit, and I've been thinking about doing LARP for a while. So really like the designs for the show. I also absolutely like the partnership idea where she wants to go north. He just wants her with him. He thinks she'll bring good fortune. That is literally the premise to setting these two up. And I like it. It's simple. Doesn't have to be a great deal. He's going to keep her around because he thinks that she's lucky. The village no longer needs her. She's moving away. Now, the credits are literally exactly what I expected for a show like this. It feels medieval. It feels like a tapestry. And this is just me showing the day-to-day lives of these people and the wolf and the tradition. There does seem to be a frame where she's running with him away from the church. Angry swords. So at some point, maybe she does bump into them. I don't know if other people can see her yet because we haven't had that situation arise. But I do think she might need a hat or something just to cover up her ears because the ears are going to be a dead giveaway. We'll have to see if they cover those ideas. The traditional wind instruments and the vocals are nice. The ED is actually a lot better than I think the OP, but the OP will need to grow on me a bit. I think it's going to be a very fun, medieval, chill adventure where we, I guess, going in the ideas of religion, folklore. I guess we've got pagans who go against the church as well. So there's a divide. It has that To Your Eternity kind of rings. She could be kind of like Fushi. So maybe it's kind of a mild version of To Your Eternity without the very meta things that happen in later seasons. Eagerly watching this space. I hope you guys also enjoyed this episode. Please, please, please don't give any spoilers if you know what's going on because I'm aware that this show has already aired. I don't know if it's going to be a dead rip of what's already come out, but I can imagine if they're just making it a updated version, it's probably the same story, it's just going to have some updates, nice graphics. Bear that in mind. I'm going to be watching this with no knowledge whatsoever. Hopefully I don't need to do the spoiler warnings. I feel like we've got past this. This is a quieter show. Thank you guys so much. I will look forward to seeing you each week. For now, it seems like it's going to be a very interesting adventure. So thank you for joining me on it. We've got 25 episodes, so this one's going to be a mainstay on the show for a little bit. I will see you guys again for another video. Bye guys.